everybody, welcome back to Adobe Live and Animation 301. I've been practicing that. Well, today I've got something cool that we can learn. Another cool thing. I'm kidding, we always learn cool things, right? Hopefully you'll enjoy this one, and I've been able to minimize it into 3 easy steps as well, so that's going to make it even more enjoyable as we give it a go on our mini games of the day. But before we get into any of that, let me quickly say my hi's to the chat. Hi Jack, hi Oliver, hi Penny, and CJ. Uma! Welcome on in. I hope everybody's having a wonderful day so far. I just realized that it's daylight saving time. In America, my clock haven't gone back yet. So trust me, when I looked at the time and I was like, oh, it's an hour earlier for me. It's caught me out once before, not today. Not today. Hello, Roprod. Lovely to see you. Good afternoon. Hello from London. Alex, welcome on in. I hope your day's going well. I hope you're ready to learn. Penny told me that her thinking cap is on, so without further ado, let's talk about what we're going to be learning today, which is all about that liquid effects. So, even though it sounds like it's in the name, what is a liquid effect? Well, a liquid effect is a way of simulating moving liquid. All right, sounds simple. We can do this in 3 easy steps. First, we'd have a front color. Then, we'd add a wave warp. After that, we add a back color. And then we get a kind of 3D faux moving water effect. This is really simple, right? There's so many more things we can do with it too, so be prepared. The choice will leave us stunned. All right, so we understand what's up. We hear that there's only 3 things to do. What are we going to be doing this on? What are the mini games of today? Today's mini games are Swishy, Filler Up, and Concoction. Ooh. Now's your call to action to go ahead and grab the mini games of today. Check the YouTube description box, or it might appear in the chat, I'm sure. But this is your time to grab your files. Get ready. We're about to start something new. Now, as we wait, let me just quickly check back in. Oliver said, yeah, our clocks change a week before. Is it? Oh, okay. That explains so much, Oliver. Penny said, so ready. Yes. This one's really fun. Plus, I think you're really gonna like the mini games I have for you today. I was like, oh, liquid effects. What possible mini game could we do for this? So I think you're really gonna like it. Jeffrey, welcome on in. We're using After Effects for this one, so make sure you've got your program installed. Make sure you download the lessons of today. If you're in the Behance chat, jump on over to the YouTube section so you can grab the files in the description box. I said Discord. In the description box. Hi Lee. Hi Tuin. Josie. And Brem. Welcome. Okie dokie. I think that's probably enough time for you to have downloaded your files, get them open, all of that jazz. So let's take a look at number 1. Swishy. Oh, there's water. So we've got a cup, and we need to prove that there's water in here somehow. Now, we could totally knock the glass, or we could have it constantly move back and forth. Completely down to us, but the mini game is a go. Thank you, CJ. CJ just popped the mini game in the chat for you if you haven't grabbed it already. Now, when you do open your lesson files of the day, if it doesn't look like this one, because I possibly saved it on stage 2, you might be on this one. Just head on over to the bottom left, see where it says stage 1, go ahead and click that, and you'll be with me on stage 1. Now, we've got 2 layers here. I have hid the background layer. We don't want to confuse ourselves with too many things on the screen. So we've got our glass, we've got our liquid, and our liquid on this, aka the actual glass bit, is parented to our outline of our glass. So wherever it goes, that goes with it. Awesome. First things first, how about we make it move from side to side? we'll get a nice little loop going. So let's say we start this with a rotation. Rotation starts with R. So if you're looking for it on the keyboard shortcut, R is the key that you're looking for. Let's say that I go for 12. I want it to go the other way. Minus 12. We need it to flick in the opposite direction. The easiest way to do that is to give it a positive number. And I want it to go right back again. So I'm going to copy the first keyframe and paste it over yonder somewhere. Now we've got all this space back here that we don't need, but I don't know if I might want to make it take longer or less time. So instead of us completely chopping this composition, what we're going to do is just roll forward, zoom in a little bit. So at the very bottom, we can either drag this little icon here or this circle here, or we could hold Alt and middle mouse roll in and roll out till we're satisfied that we can see what we want to see. Now, if I do press play here, the time bar is going to keep going. So if I want it to know where my work area is, I can press N to cut off the other end. And B will cut off the former end. But now we can see where our workspace is without having to zoom all the way out and go and grab it. So if I press play now, 1, our last keyframe isn't where the work area ends. So we might get a weird gap or a weird bop. So let's try to make this match a little bit. Looks a little bit stiff, so let us put an easy ease on it. That's F9, or we can right click and go to easy ease that way too. It's looking, you know what, maybe that's fine. I feel like it's kind of violent. We can make it less so by just dragging out our keyframes. I wasn't expecting it to move that fast. I've noticed, depending on how big or how many seconds or minutes are inside your composition, when you stick down your keyframes and you press play, it either moves slower than you expected or faster than you expected. It's normally just because you can't really tell unless you get in there how fast or how much space there is between them. Balloon, welcome, lovely. Could that be too slow? Okay, we found what it is. We've got 3 different things to do. We won't go too far. Hi, Susan. Hi, Van Dam. If you've just joined, make sure you grab your files. We're going to start working. We're learning liquid effects today. Okay, we've got our glass. It's going woo. And it loops. Amazing. But there's no water in it yet. That's very, very true. So for us to add some liquid, the first thing we have to do is grab a square. Or it could be any shape, but maybe a square is a bit easier. Let's head on up to the top, to our rectangle tool. We can grab any color we like. We could go for something liquidy, or I don't know, orange juice. I feel like it might merge with the back of the screen a little bit if we make it too yellow though. There we go. And I'm going to click and drag over the top. Doesn't need to look like it's fitting within it. We're going to be using our set mat, something we learned in our last Animation 301 lesson on this particular piece. Now, if you've just done this and this happens instead, it means that you have the layer selected before you used your masking tool, which we don't want to do. So make sure you click off of the area, so nothing's selected, and then click and drag your piece. And then we'll drag it underneath the glass, only because this will allow us to see where the bottom of the glass is. We kind of want to match our anchor to the bottom of the glass. Cool. Let's make it follow the glass now. Let's grab the parent, grab the pick whip, and whip it on the glass. There we go. So now it's moving. Looks a bit weird, but it's moving. Yay. Cool. But it's not within the glass though. So we're going to use the set mat technique, and I've added a kind of troubleshooting moment onto here for those that do like to import their Photoshop files. It's always good to have a little trying to fix something situation. You can totally toggle the switch mode, grab the trap mat pick whip and do it this way. You might notice the background disappears. That's because it normally tries to hide it. It assumes you don't want to see it, but you can turn it back on with the eyeball layer. The only reason why it looks kind of faded like this is because this actually has an opacity on it from when I was in Photoshop. So you can totally turn it up to get that nice strong color. But we're going to do it this way instead. I'm going to duplicate this liquid on this layer. And I want to use the set matte. We're going to put the set matte on our liquid. So let's head over to our effects and presets. Go for set matte. Jeffrey, hello, how are you? I'm amazing, thank you. I hope you're feeling great too. And I hope you're ready to learn. Let me drag the set matte onto shape layer 1. Travesty, didn't name it. I'm going to call it Oh Juice. There we go. Now we want it to be on, liquid sits on this too. Now you might notice that it's not actually fitting the shape correctly. It kind of looks kind of weird. The reason for this is the set matte requires the layers to be rasterizable. Normally when you try to do this with a Photoshop file, let's take a look down here, you'll notice this file, the one that we made within it, does have the little circle with the things going on, but the Photoshop files don't. So in order for us to get that going on, we need to comp it. If you do make your mattes and all of that jazz within After Effects, it will automatically have that for you. So I'm going to pre-comp this. And now I can turn that layer on. Hi, AR. I hope you're doing great. So we've done it. We still have that kind of transparency thing going on. So if we'd like, we can up the color right here. But let's say we want that glass effect in the back. We don't want to see the thing at the front. We can just hide the eyeball. So now the liquid stays and it's really strong and we've still got that glass effect in the back. Pretty cool. All right, so if we press play, we got the thing going on. The liquid isn't moving, but it looks like it's having a great time. Awesome. I don't think we need to effect these anymore, but we do want to add the animation going before we add the wave effects, because technically there's only 3 steps to this. Before we do add the wave effect, we want the liquid to kind of move with the glass. Oh, Outward Element said, oh, Alex, hello. I may have missed it, but why do you use set matte instead of the newer matte layer drop down toggle? So it kind of gives us a little bit more functionality if we do it this way. So for instance, if I toggle the switch back over, if I wanted to do another set matte, I can, because the other track matte is technically open and free, which is really, 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 really cool. So I could do a track matte within a track matte within a track matte and have a little bit more control over what's happening. So hopefully that helps answer that. Plus, let's say we wanted to make this look a little bit more like a glass. I can take, I think we could do this with the other one too, to be honest. The track matte within a track matte, we can't, because once you use a track matte once, it's kind of trapped down, it's stuck. You can't add another one to it. But because we already do have a track matte, if we needed to do another shape on top of this, I don't know, maybe there was ice inside the glass and we had this effect going, but then we wanted to constrain it again to a particular opposite ice bauble that had the liquid in it, then we could. No problem at all. Glad to help. So let's say we kind of want this to look like the glass has got a little bit of thickness to it. Might need to turn the eyeball back on just so you can see what the anchor is if you need to. But now we can drag the scale in a little bit. And now it looks like the glass has actually got something going on there. It's pretty cool. Now we could totally animate the movement of the orange again, but we don't need to, because we've already done it once with the glass. So let's just go ahead and highlight all of the rotations for the glass. Track matte inception, it's true. You know, like when you go and look at a mirror and then you bring a mirror to a mirror and then it's like, woo, woo, that. It's all about that, Penny. So I'm gonna copy this rotation, go to the rotation of the juice, and there we go. It's there, but the water or the liquid tends to move slightly after the glass. They don't normally happen at the same time. So let's jump into our graph matte. Graph editor. I've got set matte stuck in my head at the moment. And I'm sure as Penny would know, We need to make some things take a little bit longer. Don't think we need anything to take less time, but trial and error, a little bit of tweaking. There's nothing wrong with that. So I want this to take a little bit longer. We know long line means slower movement. Or if I pull it back so you can see it, it's going to go to the other shape immediately, which is almost before the glass moves, which doesn't make any sense. We need the glass to go first. So I want this to take a little bit of time. Good, it reached there. I want it to stay up there a little bit, so we'll drag it out. Graph mat, I know. Oh. I had both of them, like they're both kind of right. Long line slow, short is fast. Yes, Penny. Long line slow, short is fast. That's what it's about. I tell you, need it on a shirt. Get it on a t-shirt, yay! Same mind, Jinx. Okay, so I've got a little bit of a violent shake. I'm down for it. We can drag this out a little bit if we want it to maybe be slightly higher than the glass. We don't necessarily need to, but if you want maybe a higher swing or a lower swing, this is where we tweak all of that. I think what we can also do is make sure it doesn't actually happen at the exact same time. So I could move this center one out. We could take a look at it this way too. I can move this one out of the center so it's not exactly matching up. So now we've got a little bit of opposition there. I feel like that could be too high. How about we do -13? Ooh. Make sure we're within our area. Cool. Got a little bit of movement going on. I dig it. We can also take it a step further by making the liquid really happen afterwards by moving them all the way off. I might leave this one where it was actually. So now it kind of delays its movement even more. I kind of like that, I think. Music got loud. Thank you very much. I think I'm into this, so we might stick with this one. I could even drag this out. All of it's changing the time of the, well, we were talking about timing and spacing before and we were doing frame by frame. This is just changing the timing of things happening. I think I kind of like this actually. Kind of pops, but I kind of dig it. Cool. So we've got a little bit of movement, but we need that the icing on the top. That is the wave effect. So let's head on over to the right, go into our effects. Can I also use the wave effect? That's exactly what we're getting to. Yes, Superline, look at you, you're ahead of the game. You're there before me. Yes. So by us adding that movement to the side, it's, what can I, okay. So you know how a duck or a swan on the water looks like it's gliding along, but really its feet are doing all the movement underneath the water? That's kind of what we're doing by doing this. By us adding the rotation to it, by the time we add the waves and the rotation are going to add on top of this. So when you're giving it a try putting the waves on without the rotation, and then try putting the rotation in. That way you can gauge the different dynamicism that you're getting from it. So here we go. We got our wave warp. We're going to pop it onto our liquid. And if you've done it the set mat way, like we were talking with Alex, you can totally do it the other way, in which case it won't look like this straight away. But if you are doing it the set mat way and you notice, oh, there's something weird happening, all you have to do is drag the set mat and the wave warp in opposite, I guess, underneath each other. We want the set mat under the wave warp. So that means it's going to do the wave first and then constrain its shape. So it's kind of popping pretty hard here. We've got a few things to tweak. A good rule of thumb is to try to have one wave. Let's say this is a wave that's like 2 waves. We want one wave within the container. So as a kind of, so baseline, we could say our height is 50 and maybe our width is 250. And if we take a look at this, we still got a little bit of poppage here. So when you do it, it might be perfect, might be slightly poppy. How do we fix it? Well, first, we can go over to where it says phase and move preferably in the positive move the liquid effect over till we have about 1 wave. Might take a little bit of tweaking. Oh, not just that, but also the wave speed. Ooh, there's a little bit to it. I'm gonna change my wave speed to 2. What ultimately we're looking for is if there's 1 wave in the middle, the sides would normally be directly at the right position. Super important note. Yes. Oh, let me see this. Super important to note, as you said, to pre-comp the layer. Yes. Rasterize so set matte works perfectly. Yes. I've had that issue before where the set matte wasn't set matting. It was very, very shocking. So we've got this. It's almost the same, but not quite. So I'm going to tweak my phase a little bit more. Might have to tweak my wave speed a little bit more. Let's say a wave of 1. That seems much higher than what we have already. We could do a phase of 127. Let's see. A little bit less. 100. Not bad. Let's lower that a little bit more. Say 240. We're almost there. I think it's always good when there's an issue, isn't it? Always when you try it on your own, it's perfectly fine. Ah! Alright. What do you want from me? What I think I'm going to do, I'm just going to extend this a little bit more. That way I can see exactly where my timing is and see what speed it wants from me. We've got this. That's not too bad, but it looks kind of high. So I'm going to go to my juices layer, press position and move it down a little bit. Makes it a little bit easier for me to see. Okay. So they're almost at the exact same position. Looks like a phase of 16. There we go. A little bit better. Nice. Okay. So I can move my position up again. I could probably lower my wave height, because I think my wave height is also giving me a little bit of issues there. Nice. Whew. Cool. We got our liquid. Absolutely could probably tweak the wave speed and the phase again, I think. But to be on the safe side. Oh, we found it! We found it! Yeah. Oh, okay. We did it. Make sure you save your work, especially when you get it right. I feel like we need like a celebration sound. Okay. Na 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 na. Okay. Yay! So we found it. It loops. Huzzah! Cool. This could totally work if we're going for a more simplistic-y style, but I'm fairly certain that we probably want that 3D effect. For us to get the 3D effect, all we have to do, very, very simple. I know I said 3 steps. Technically this is, 3 steps. But we want to add that back bit on. Woohoo! Woohoo, Penny! It looks very cool. Thank you. Oh. We're going to take our front liquid. We're going to duplicate it. Move it below. Thankfully, because we've done it all right the first time, we don't have to do it again. It loops! It loops! Ah, the animator's dream. When it loops, you're like, that one tear. So I've got my second liquid. We're going to click on fill, make it something else. I don't know, maybe something like this. And we can't see it right now, so let's drag it up a little bit. There we go. If we press play now, I'm going to make sure I save it. If we press play now, kind of looks like, you know, liquid and oil. You've got the film on top, which we don't necessarily want. Unless you do, then you can do it this way or with a stroke. But I want something slightly different. So we can do this in 2 ways. We'll look at one way for this one. We can go to direction in our wave warp and just do -90. That looks really high. But now it looks like it's, wow, it looks 3D. Yay. Oh, I kind of want to drink some orange juice now. So this is one way that you can do a liquid effect. There is another way, and we'll look at that in the second exercise. But now, technically, you've finished the first mini game. If you do want to alter this in any way, what you can do is just lower the height or lower the width. That way, the back liquid won't be so high up. But we did it! Silver says, howdy doodle, Pixie. Can you guess where I am? At work again? Every day I speak to you. Same. Even on the weekend. Same, Silver. Oh. Okay, we did it! Time for number 2. Fill her up! Okie dokie. It's the keyframe department. We're at the convenience store and we have got some orders. We got purple juice, blue juice, and green juice, and the customers are thirsty. They're thirsty, okay? And we need to fill her up. So, on the second one, if you press the enter or the space key, you'll find that I've animated nothing. We're gonna do it all ourselves. Hooray! That's what we like to do, right? We've learned so much animation. We've learned one new thing. We can now merge it all together. Okay. Thankfully, all we have to do is do one of these correctly. After that, we can just copy and paste the information to all of the other ones. Pretty easy. Incorrect. I'm actually at home. Wait. Oh, I hope she's okay, Silver. Are you looking after her then? Make sure you feed her and bring her lots of water, please. Lots of water. Right, so we've got our filler up. For those that are regulars of Animation 101 series, I'm sure you'll recognize that bow from somewhere. We've got our glass. We've got our liquid in this thing. We've got the conveyor belt, which I have made longer for us, so we don't need to worry about making that any longer. We've got our blue tap, our purple tap, and our green tap. So we can start with other things before we do the liquid first. So what I want is, I'm imagining, like when you go to, unless you've worked in a store before where you've got to do the liquid for people. You know when you go to the cinema and then it allows you to do it yourself and you've got to either push something or like push something into something. It's the way that it taps down before you push it. We're going to simulate that. So let's go to the green one. It's P for position. And we want to retain its current position, always keep its original location, because if we take a look at my position at the moment, this is not 0. If we zeroed this out, we would lose it. So we want to make sure we can keep it. Silver said, yes, that's the plan. You have a schedule to follow, but you're relaxing. Okay, good. My sister actually was talking about making sure that you schedule in breaks, especially for a lot of my freelancers out there. I'm speaking to you because I'm one of the ones that also fails to do this. We've got to schedule in breaks and then actually take them. And then actually take them. I noticed the actually taking it part's the problem. But I'm glad that you're resting, Silver. Well deserved. You always work so hard. So now I've got its starting point and its ending point. I love mixing drinks. Okay. Tell me your favorite drinks to mix. Question to the chat. What are your favorite drinks to mix? We could totally do that here, but we'll do that in Concoction so we can add animation to the liquid change color. Even though I'm an artist, apart from blue and yellow makes green, I don't remember the others. So, Penny said, definitely not an American shop. Our cups are way bigger. Penny, I feel like I could drink from one of those for days. I honestly do. Let me zoom in a little bit. We've got this. I want it to go down. So, boop. Let's make sure it stays down. However long it stays down is however long the liquid's going to pour out of it. Boop, down. That's too slow. Let's make it a bit faster by putting the keyframes closer together. I want it to last that long. Boo. And then we can add a little bit of something we learned when we were doing frame by frame animation, which is, just thinking about it, it's not overlap, it's not anticipation. Oh. Can't remember the name. Okay, so even though I can't remember the name, I can explain it though. You know when a car stops, it doesn't just stop, because that's weird. it moves forward a little bit and then the rest of it bounces back. Overshoot. There we go. I found it. It's overshoot. Yeah. Okay. What we want to do is overshoot it going back. That gives us like a cool animation. The easiest way to overshoot an animation, especially when we're not doing it in frame by frame, is to copy its last pose and then just go a bit over. So now we've got a little. I always felt at the taking the breaks. I'm scheduled. Okay, thank you. It's not just me. I used to do it and then I stopped doing it for 2 days and it ruined everything. Ruined everything. I like mixing flavors of Mountain Dew. There's more than one. That's new to me. In fact, those are all Mountain Dew colors. Are they really? That's completely. What's a coincidence? I don't think have I ever seen it? No, I'm thinking of Lucozade. Purple Thunder, Voltage, and Original. Okay. I don't even know. We've got a little. We could totally add it to this bit too if we wanted to, but it's down to you. The only reason why I've not added an easy ease is because this is a machine. Machines don't normally have apart from when I was talking about the car, but that's just a follow through motion rather than anything in particular. But machines don't normally have an ease. They kind of start and stop. Can we even buy? I don't think so, Oliver. Because I was going to say, have I even seen it? I was thinking of, that's why I thought about Lucozade. I was like, do you mean Lucozade? Okay, so we've got our animation. Nice. We need the liquid. First of all, this glass is not, it's not matching up. It's not matching up. I'm going to rename this one too. I'm going to call it G glass. And I'm going to call this G liquid. Because we're going to have a few of these. Yeah, we have a lot of... You do? Okay, so it's not water then. So now I know it's definitely not water. So you know, like, you get, like... Oliver, you know, like, we've got the Alps or something. We've got something like that. They've got a mountain on it, but it's water. The way that I'm hearing it, it's like, okay, this is straight up like an energy drink. It's not water. Okay, so we've got our glass, we've got our other stuff, we're good to go. Can I put this here? This might make it easier for me to make sure I don't lose it and everybody's in the right order. I need the liquid to come out of it. So we're actually going to use the pen tool for this. So let's head on up to the pen tool, and I've kind of made it a little bit easier for us to grab the correct colors. The colors that the drink's supposed to be is on this bit. This is the front, this is the back. So I'm going to go to stroke. We want a color. We're not using the fill for this one. And I want it to be the front color. So I'll leave it down for now. We can start it at the very top. Make it hit the bottom of the glass. And make sure it's underneath the tap. There we go. No, Mountain Dew isn't working. I've never tried it before. Oh, is it? I don't think you're missing out. It doesn't sound like you're an energy drink person. Uma, you're a dessert person. I don't think you're an energy drink person. Okay, I'm gonna call this G down, G glass, G liquid, G down. Is that like our rapping name? Like a rap group? It used to be available here. It used to, with the way that, you know, the other fast food places that come from America have been popping up around here. I wouldn't be surprised unless the ingredients are illegal again. I don't know. I have no idea. Even the ones that have come from America, they're not the same because we can't use the ingredients. It's very interesting. Okay, so we've got our G down. G down. I'm gonna head over to the contents, and I am going to simply do it an easy way. Mountain Dew isn't an energy drink. What is it? Silver, fill me in. Apparently, Uma, it's not. Silver, tell me what it is. Teddy said it's really bad for you. It's probably outlaw. You know what? A lot of things are over here, to be fair. We're going to animate the path. We're going to make it real simple for us. We don't need to mess around with a taper or none of that. Let's make it really, really easy. So I'm going to click on the stopwatch on the path. I'm going to pull that over. G down, choo choo. And for this one, I want it to go back up so no one knows that it's there. Let's zoom in because that way we can time it with this. Nice. Could have it happen faster. I might have an easy ease on that. F9. There we go. Got the liquid. I'm going to copy my last frame. And we can't paste the other one because then the liquid's going to go back up. And that's really weird. That's really weird. And because it's green, it looks like something else. We can't have it look like that. So we need it to come down now. So let's grab the top part and make it go down. There we go. Now we can chop off the end bit. That's Control Shift and D. Nope, that's not D. Control Shift and D. So that should split your layer in half and then we can delete it. Let's take a little look at that. Voila. Yay! God, and everyone's telling me what Mountain Dew is. Mountain Dew, it's a soft drink? Really? It's a soda pop, says Silver. Says Silver. CJ said it's a soft drink. Actually, I am. I've been cutting on energy drinks. Uma, where? I have to pull out my fan just for this. Like there we go. My shock. I see. You can use Alt and bracket to cut the layer. Ooh, should we try that too? Let's save. Alt and a bracket. Let's take a look at that. Oh my gosh! Van Damme! Yes, that's so cool. You totally cut out a couple of steps for me. Thank you. All right, so Van Damme has also taught us that we can do that without having to grab the other half. It just removes the bit for you. Amazing. Not the machine go. Wait, someone. Yes, Mountain Dew is a soft drink, but they have a variation called Mountain Dew. And oh, of course, that makes sense, doesn't it? That does make sense. Okay, so we've got the drink. Goes boop. And then I want it to move. We're going to do the same thing that we did with the original glass, but we'll do the stuff that's kind of easier to do first and then go back and play around with the movement and the liquid. And yeah. Okay, so I'm going to grab this glass. I'm going to connect it to this conveyor belt. And I'm going to say once it's done pouring, let's go to our position. Drag it out the way. Get out of the way. There we go. Yay. It's gone. Let's take a look. Ooh, that's a bit fast. Let's drag it out a little bit. That's too fast still. Let's drag it out a bit more. Okay, cool. Maybe just a little bit less. Okay, so we've got... Great. Now the glass needs to react to being moved so quickly. The glass doesn't know what's coming. So let's go over to the glass. I'm going to grab the anchor point. Make sure I've got my rotation on, and we're gonna make the glass be like, oh my goodness. If it had hair, it'd be like, whoa, blowing in the wind. So we've got this keyframe here. Gotta spill it. I mean, we could. What was that shortcut Jules Lynn said? Van Damme's told us it's Alt plus the open bracket. Hold on. Wait, hold on. I can write this somewhere. Wait. Okay, so here we go. It was Alt plus the open, oh, that's not an open bracket, plus open bracket equals split, layer, and delete. Thanks, Van Damme. Hi, Eduardo. Mountain Dew everywhere. Well, okie dokie. What are we doing? We're doing the rotation. So the glass is moving. We need to be shocked. We don't want to animate the spill, even though we probably should. But that's more animation. We're doing a lot. Doing a lot. So we've got this. We need to be like, oh, there we go. Yes. We don't even need to follow it up. We don't even need to follow it up. Amazing. Cool. So we've got the glass. We've got the glass shocked. Maybe it should wait a second, because that could be too fast. Just one second. I think maybe just two. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Woo. My pleasure, Jules. More like thank you, Van Damme. I mean, I didn't know that one. See, I love learning. It's really, really fun to pick up something new. You never know what's going to appear. Okay, so we've got that. The next thing we need to do is the liquid. So how about we do it the other way without the set mat? Do I want a stronger color? I don't want a stronger color. It's fine. We're going to use what we know to use. I'm going to grab the fill. We need the front color. The lighter color is the front color. We don't need a stroke for this. Gonna put my thing on it. Make sure the anchor's somewhere low down. We don't really have to animate the rotation on this one. We can, but you won't really see it for very long. So it's down to you on this one. We might be able to get away with it because most people, there's been so much stuff happening. The only people that are really gonna notice it are adult animators. So depends on who your audience is. But we've got this. Right, we got all the G's in a row. Now we're going to do it the other way. Let's grab the trap mat on this. And I do want that color back on. Gonna check that rotation. Oh, we forgot to parent it. Let's parent it to the glass. There we go. And if we want to, we can totally copy this rotation, paste it on here, move it over. It's moving in the wrong direction. Let's try to help it out. That's -11. Remember, if you're not too sure which direction the water or the liquid should be going in, make sure you use real life examples. It is there for a reason. As animators, we must act it out. We're half actors because we've got to do all the stuff. That way we can feel what it's like, see what it's like, maybe know how much time it would take. But if you've got a drink next to you, if you try to move it to the side, be careful, don't spill it. If you move it to the side, you'll notice that the liquid kind of gets pushed the other way until it comes back. But because it wasn't moving at all, it's gonna move, but it'll probably go up here by the time it's done. There we go. No one's really gonna notice it, but that's fine. It's one of those ones where it's like, oh, this is a really small detail, but I know I put it there. Right, now we need to do the wave warp. Oh, no, we don't. You know why? Because look at this. The drink's already there. Okay, so we gotta move the position because that ain't right. Let me go to the position. We know it's supposed to be there by the time it finishes. Let me look at the G down. This will tell me when it's done. It should be back or finished about here. Great. It should be gone or just starting here. There we go. Ooh, cool. So we could, if we want to, put an ease on this. We don't really need to. Doesn't really change too much. No. We've got a little bit of ease in real life, actually. That's pretty cool. And then let's add our wave warp effect. And because it's moving so fast, we won't really need to worry about the accuracies. We won't need to worry about the accuracies that we had to for the other one. So I'm going to go 50, 250, hope for the best. I mean, yes, but it's not moving the way that we want it to move. And this is possibly also a constraint due to the fact that we did the set mat in a different way. So we can take a look at this by chucking it on after the fact, seeing if it goes down. It does. There we go. So thankfully, we don't have to do it the other way. If you're having an issue and it's not moving, perhaps add the wave warp effect once your liquid is at the height that you want it to be at. So now that we've got this, let's do our thing again. 50, 250 seems to be a really good base point. Always problem solving. We did not give up. That's right. That is right. As soon as we add our width from the rest of it, it seems to have a problem, which is totally fine by me because it means I can actually fix and tweak this later. So for instance, I'm just going to change its height and stuff now that the wave warp is on. Either way works just fine, really. So I'm going to go to the first one, make sure it's away. To be fair, when we add the wave warp, it changes its height a little bit. Okay, there we go. That's really low. But it kind of looked like it was about to spill out of the cup. So we've got to pull that down as well. Let's change the height of this one. If you don't need to do this, that's fantastic. That's so cool. Okay. Let's fix that though. That's not cool. I'm gonna move this down. Easiest way to tweak a in-between is to add a keyframe where it is. So we're just gonna go to the left, click add, and just pull it down a little bit. And we can see where it pops again. Tweak that once more. Cool. Yay! We did it! Right, so we've got one part, but that's just the front half. That's not the back end. So let's do the back half too. Thankfully, we know all we've got to do is duplicate it. I'm going to add a color to this. We should label it, but Juice 2 will do. We're going to change the color, and the color is on this bit here. We can move the position up. And instead of doing -90, we can just move the phase back a little bit. So up to the phase area, if we just drag it over, can go somewhere where maybe, there we go, where we can see it just a little bit. We can kind of time it to go around the back half. So it looks like it's doing the 3D thing, but not as dramatic as the first one. Oh my goodness. Yes, this is it. This is it. This is it. The smoothness. You know, when it works, you're happy. You know that it should, but it took us longer than I was expecting on example 1. So when example 2 is like, don't worry, I got you. That's when it's good. Okay, so we've got the first one, and we know that we don't have to actually animate anything else at all. We can copy and paste, and that's what we're gonna do. We've got to work smarter, not harder. So we've done all of these. Let's check this G down. We can duplicate it. Actually, let's start from this part first. I'm actually going to change all of these so I know I've already done them. The smooth. No, I want to do blue next. Should I do blue? It doesn't really matter. Let's do blue. Why not? 1, 2, 3. Should do 1, 3, 2. So I guess we're doing this instead. So I'm going to go over to the one that we've already animated. Let's copy the keys. We can paste them where they currently are and then move everything together. So the purple, we paste it. So position contains X and Y. To fix that, just right click position, separate dimensions, and we're not using X. Remember, X goes left and right, Y goes up and down. We don't need X at all. Let's copy Y, go to the purple one, split it straight away, go to Y, and paste that. Did I paste the right thing? Oh, hold on. Is this Y? It is. Apparently it's remembering something else. There we go. Now they move at the same time. Perfect. We will change it later. The G down, we're going to move that up. Going to change it to purple. This way I'm not spending too much time on looking at the names. So I know the colors are in the right spot. We're just going to move this over. So now we've got the timing correct. We can totally make it go down, like hold the drink down for longer or go up for longer, but it's better to do it after we've copied everything over. So we've got this, great. All we need is the glass and all the other stuff, all the other ting. I'm gonna grab all of this, Control and D, pop it over here. I'll make it fuchsia because that's what I'm currently working on. Please do name your layers, even if you don't see me doing it. Just looking at the time. What I need to do is allow the conveyor belt to move first. So bearing in mind that all of these are currently attached to the conveyor belt and all of that other jazz, and I do need it to stay where it is for now. The easiest way to make things move on a conveyor belt or something that moves is to unparent it. So maybe duplicate it first, unparent it, allow the thing that moves to move, and then you move your version. Oh, let me check that this is all okay. Hold on, did I grab the wrong one? Are you not happy? Oh, there it is. So who are you? Oh no, I have it. Okay. Let me move this over. There we go. And now if I parent it back to the conveyor belt, should only be one conveyor belt. If we play it again, we've got one coming in and then the other one comes in. Awesome. We don't really need the animation to happen yet. Or I suppose it could kind of like get shocked on its way in and then sit down. Which would be about here. It starts off like that, then goes back. That's a lot. Oh, it's still fun though. Oh, it's cool. Okay, I like it. I like it. So the liquid, what we're actually going to do, we can totally move our animation and its timing now. So let's grab it, move it over here. That's when the cup actually appears. Need to make sure everything is underneath what it should be. Cool. The movement should happen later. The glass is a little bit off, so let's try to fix that. Great. We can change the front one. We can change the back one. And this did not require any extra animation at all because it's already done. It's exactly what we like. And we've got our liquid. Let's make sure we move the animation for this too. So it only appears when it's supposed to. Cool, around here. Oh, oh, that was a bit of a shock. Yes, but no. Yes, but no. Let's get rid of that, get rid of that. I think we need to move this one up ourselves because it's doing a little bit too much. Oh, no, 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 no. I had a thought, but it's changed. What I could do, really, what I could do is grab the back juice, connect it to the front one. So when I move the front one, the back one will move. That's probably a better idea, actually. Wade said, looking tight, tight, tight. Thank you. We're making drinks. I've been told this looks like Mountain Dew. And then I was told what Mountain Dew was. Yay, but then it disappeared. I guess it thought its time was done here. Let's go and fix this glass and then we can take a quick look at the last one before we disappear. Hope you're having a good day, Wade. Needs to be much higher than this, apparently. That seems much better. Here we go. Okay, cool. No one's going to see that part there, so that's fine. All right, so we've got 1, 2. It's happening! It's happening! It's so fun! Oh, the drinks! Wade, what's your favorite drink? Trying to think, do I have one? I love matcha anything, actually. Okay, so we've got the drink filling up and going, drink filling up and going. We do need this to disappear, so let's just time it correctly. And we can make the conveyor belt move as well. One last one. We won't add in the third drink. I think you will get the gist of this. And whoosh. Let's try to time it with this. There we go. And let's get rid of that. That was Alt and Bracket. We'll never forget that tooltip. That was so helpful. I am? Yes. Okay, we got 1, 2. Ah, so cool. So tasty. And for the last one, which we won't do, but we will look at, number 3, concoction. We're a scientist. Not a mad scientist, just, you know, a pleasant scientist that's looking forward to trying to make all sorts of colours and wonderful goodness inside our little flasks. Wait, hold on, wait a second. What icon is that? Coffee, and I'm not sure what that other icon is. Oh, at the moment, coffee, but I'm in a crunch. Oh, okay. I see. Okay, I dig. Wait, does that mean you're up next? So to show you the example of the one that I've already done, my favorite drink is Pepsi, but I try to be healthy. Good for you. No one's being so healthy. To show the example of what I've done, I moved the flask first, and then I used the vertex tool on the position I had moved, because when you move something, hold on, is it this? You're actually able to adjust the curves, which allows it to bounce and all of that jazz. It's a coffin. I wasn't sure. I was like, wait a second, it can't be. No. Wait, no. Okay, so we need to get you off that coffee. We need to get you off that ting. We've got the shape. I've done the liquid, but we actually have control over how the liquid moves in there. So let me take a look at liquid 1. In liquid 1, I've actually animated the wave height. I was gonna say more, but apparently there isn't anything more. I've animated the wave height. So it's at 0, it goes up to 1, and it goes back to 0. You can also add a hue effect on there too, and animate the keyframing of the hue effect. Pretty cool, pretty fun. I hope you've all enjoyed today, because you know what it means, the conclusion. Your homework is to complete the mini game homework and use liquid effects on an animation of your own. Yes, Penny, we did it. If next means tomorrow, yes. Oh, wait. We made so much Mountain Dew, we really did. I hope everybody had fun with the liquid effects today. I would love to see what you lot do. Don't forget to tag me somewhere. Tag me many times, I might miss it. Now stay tuned, as there is more wonderful goodness coming up on Adobe Live. See you in 2 weeks. Bye. Oh, thank you, Superloo.